What's going on, guys? It is DigiWatchTCG coming to you with another Market Watch. Now, today I'm very excited to go over a couple of the cards here that are going to be BT8 related. One of the decks I'm going to be focusing on is Black Oriumon because it did see a top in, I think it was top 16 or top 8 in one of the regionals over the weekend. There are a few. It's kind of exploding all over different Digimon what's it called, YouTube tubers. And I do think that you may see some changes in prices now that we see that Black Orgrimmon is playable, like in a top tier tournament, like a regional. With that said, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts below on what you'd like to see next. And yeah, let's start. So TCG Player is what I'm using right now. I'm not sponsored by them, so be smart. If you find places like eBay, Card Market, anywhere else, definitely check those out first. But starting off, we're actually looking at the Augment for the winners pack here. $15 is pretty good. I'm kind of sad because I do have one. I wish it was a little higher, but it is actually more affordable than some of the other hollow foils, which I'll cover over here. And the Agumon over here is you play a 4 of in the deck. A Black Greymon deck, and we see a lot of listings, about 20 of them right now. I think that if you're going to max rarity this deck and you're going to play it more competitively, definitely pick these up now. I have a feeling they're going to jump a little bit. Let's just actually, I want to see if it changed, if it went up or anything like that. Nope, it's still around the price here. But still, yeah, 20 listings, pre-release card. It's not going to be reprinted, and it is a foil, and it is a nice. I like this artwork a lot. So consider picking it up. Now, the alternate version over here is the Augment from Event Pack 2. It's the max rarity version. It's $45, $46. It hasn't seen much fluctuation, except going down a little bit in since like its release, of course. Now, I do think this might actually drop a tiny bit more because since we've had 2 weekends of regionals, people are going to be sent their participation or their prizing, and that includes Event Pack 2. So if more of these are open and people are not looking to hold on to them and put them up for sale, you may see this actually drop a slight bit. So that is the Augments from BT5, I believe. Now, going into our other Agumon, I'm sorry to say if you were waiting to pick up these up and play Black or Greymon or see if they were going to do well in meta, it's going to cost you now. You can still play the deck, but it's going to be really expensive. It's $20 per copy of an Agumon. This is played at 4 of, so that's $80 for a set. And yeah, if you picked these up a few months ago, you were very, very smart, and you actually were able to get $4, $5 a copy maybe, and get a whole set for 20. Now that's the cost of one. So yeah, this is good. Now I'll say an alternative. I don't remember what set it comes out for, but it's an Agumon that when you attack the player, it gains 2,000. You can use that as an alternative, I guess, which is not that it's not that bad, but if you're looking for the most optimal version or the most competitive, you're going to have to pick up these. So either find someone who has these and willing to trade them, or yeah, shell out the dough. We have the Greymon over here. Max rarity version, of course, is the Event Pack 2, $38. I think, again, just kind of looking at the same thing as the Agumon over here. It's played at 3 in the winning deck, in the deck that like topped. And I technically in my deck I play 2 copies of this, so I would recommend if you're looking to max rarity it, you should pick these up. If you're not looking to, you have an alternative version right over here. This one you can get a playset of for less than $10, but it has been tracking up. If you notice here, it was less than $1, and you could have gotten everything for pretty much like almost $2, but now it's around $8. I think this might end up being something where it's like going to be three a copy, but BT5 is still relatively new. So if you go to a store and pick up a few packs, or maybe you do well in a tournament and are able to pick up a few packs, maybe you pick up Greymon, see if you can pull a few. Going into our BT8 though, I'm going to go for, this is from the most expensive to the least. So this one is Oriumon, and it's the alternate art version of our rare. And I think that rares that become alternate arts are actually very collectible. And I do think that this is going to somewhat follow the trend that Dorumon had in BT7, but I don't think as much. So in BT9 we do well, I'll say this first. X Antibody gets a lot of support in BT9, and it becomes a top tier deck in BT9. And the reason why people are playing the Doromon or picking up Doromon and hold its price at like 60 something dollars is because the longevity you basically had from BT7 to BT9, where it's going to be a max, a very very playable deck. So people who want to max rarity that deck, are basically going to play 4 copies of it now. That means that it's going to be 60 something dollars. This one though, I'm not really sure how many you play in the deck in BT9, but right now you do play 4 because this is your Yuji searcher. It gets you 1 Yuji and 1 X antibody, which is the one you want. Um, and I just think it's a really nice artwork, and I think that there's a good possibility that this maintains its price. I think if anything, if it's going to fluctuate, it'll either go $5 up or $5 down. I think it's too early to tell right now, and it has had some success, but not enough to warrant it to be like as good as um, I guess Yellow Hybrid right now. Magnamon also a very very good card to pick up. It gets again more support in BT9, and honestly, very interesting. This has not fluctuated since its pre-release. We're now almost 2 weeks past the pre-release date where people started opening these up, got the alternate arts of it, and essentially it was at about $45-$48 at its initial time of release, and then it's kind of not changed since then. And that for me, when I look at that, it's usually a good sign that this is going to hold its price. So that's something to keep in mind. You may just want to find people who trade this, but if you're looking to get more copies of this so that you can have a playset, maybe for for a BT9 deck, Magnamon X, you may want to get these now. I don't think they're going to change though, so it's not like an immediate thought. Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. This is the one I would consider picking up early now, only because over the weekend we saw Magnamon win. I think it was the top deck that won one of the regionals, and then also it's played in hybrids. So the fact that you have 2 different decks playing it, and you may want to consider playing it max rarity, having 2 Ophanimon Fallout modes might be what you want, what you're trying to get after. And we can see right now it's already rebounded a little bit. It was at max right now, almost at $50 on release, and then it's hit its low point of about 42, 43, and we see over here in terms of trends, it's about 40, $43. I think that it's probably going to end up being around $45. But it could go up if nothing else proves itself in the meta. Because again, out of what we've seen, yellow, purple, and yellow hybrid have been like the most consistent winning decks right now. I don't think I've seen anything that's in pure Digimon, other than like maybe the second place or third place decks. But still, Rapidmon being able to go and outlast your opponent is just very very strong. Speaking of, we have the alternate version over here, $43, $44, kind of challenging the Magnamon alternate art, but yeah, this is the more competitive version. You're playing more of these, so at least for the time being, I think it's gonna hold its price. I think it's gonna hold its price. I think it'll probably maybe even go up to a little bit more to like 45 if people are looking to sell these now that they're done with the regionals. Those who got the invite, maybe a good idea to put them out. Chimeramon over here, $40. $38 right now, but we see that it did drop. It was a max. It was, I think, the top card in the set for a moment, and then it kind of just dropped down out over here to 38. To be fair, I think this is going to drop to about the $33-$35 mark. Maybe you'll hold that price about the $33 mark. So if you're looking to pick these up, maybe just wait a few more weeks. I think it'll drop down. But I'm very surprised it even dropped down at all, because it is played in a lot of different decks, even decks that don't necessarily DNA. It's used usually in stuff like Magnamon. One deck used it. You have it in what's it called? Purijamon. You have it in Armor Rush. You have it in so many decks that I definitely can see more people playing this, and it has a really good effect, really relevant. I think this card, honestly, is going to be a card that you see in future sets, or even like deck lists, even if we have a very big change in meta. So Chimeramon being able to DP reduce all your opponent's field, at least 4,000 DP reduction, is always very strong. And the fact that it's not necessarily a yellow and does this is a very, very powerful effect. So I do think that you do have to definitely play it with decks that are dual color, but it is very, very powerful. I'm just saying. Black Greymon, kind of just go rounding out. It's been holding its price about $34. I think it's going to still hold its price. I'd be curious to see where it's going to go. It has kind of starting to go back up a little bit, but some people might end up buying it. I'm actually curious. I had put this up earlier. I wonder if it changed at all. No, not yet. So we have Oriumon over here. Just following with the X antibody over here, it kind of dropped down a lot. But I think this is a good one if you pick these up now at the alternate arts, then holding on to them until the next set might be good. I think that's going to jump the price. I think that these are definitely played in the next set, so you may want to pick those up. Flame Dramon. Interesting discussion I might just have real quick about this. Is that with Flame Dramon, it's a rare, as I said before with the X antibody cards. It's a fan favorite. It's the first Digimon you kind of see in, I think, the first episode of O2. And for $30, I think that's a decent price. I think that it's not going to change in fairness. I think that if you bought it at 45, I'm sorry you spent that much, but definitely $30 I think was the right price to play this at. And keep in mind, there is a rare version of this, which is not that much. So, but this artwork, I think having it 1 or 2 copies is good. Even if you're like not a fan, I think having at least a copy of this would be good. Fighter mode, yeah, it keeps dropping. I'm going to try to take my bias out of this, but I really do like this artwork. I just think that unfortunately, like, it just keeps dropping, even though it's seeing like competitive play. I honestly think it's going to drop to about 25. Maybe after format, it'll probably drop to around 20, maybe 15. But I really do like this alternate art. If you're a fan of Pure Dramon, I would suggest trying to at least get 1 copy of it. Same thing with this Paladin mode. Not really seen too much competitive play, and I definitely know, like, since Thursday I made a trade with a person for this, and it was $29 at the time of trade, and now it's 24. It just keeps going down. It's just not seeing enough play, but it has an amazing effect, and I do like. I want to mention one thing about this. Although it doesn't see currently a lot of play, it's a really good card regardless. Being able to strip all the sources from one of your opponent's Digimon and then bounce them back to deck, very, very powerful, number 1. Number 2, the ability of having 16,000 DP. This is the highest DP we currently have, I think, in meta. So if you play this in a meta deck and you swing at their security, or they swing at your security, if it's not higher than 15, if Susanamon swings into security and hits this, that's game over. They lose to Susanamon. So sometimes that it's a good thing at 16. I actually, in one of my competitive matches in my regional, I played this deck with this card, and I was facing Yellow Hybrid, and I actually was trying to figure out how to do this right. I basically Digivolved him very early on in the game. And basically, there was no way of my opponent actually beating this. He can't Wyvern. He couldn't Wyvern it. There was nothing he can do really to get it down. Until I think like late game, he was able to like just bring it down to something like 7,000 by DP reducing with like 3 Codys and a Rapidmon, and just being able to like swing over it at that point. But it took a lot of sources just to get rid of him. So just something to be aware of. But I still don't think he's the best bet. It's more of a win more card. Creepymon over here. I think that he's a good future card. I think you should hold on to these. I don't think you should get rid of them just yet. I think that there's another deck coming out in a few weeks that essentially uses a lot of milling for their ability, and Creepymon may also be able to help with that. Also, it gives you another win condition, being able to mill stuff from their opponent's deck, make him deck out. I actually think that once we get the Beelstarmon deck, or sorry, Beelzemon deck, that comes out, which is what I was referring to, you're going to see some people maybe playing this, and I think it's going to push Yellow Hybrid a little out, because it sends a lot of their cards to their trash. And then what will happen is they will probably deck out sooner, so you don't necessarily need to worry necessarily about swinging into their security and hitting something that can delete him. Even so, there's so many cards that recur him that I don't think it would be a huge problem. So that might be something to consider. Chimeramon over here. This is actually something I wanted to speak about really quick because we're almost done with the entire market watch here. But Chimeramon has an interesting. All the super rares have a really interesting thing. They are holding their price really well, even with having like, you know, let me put it this way. This is about $14, $15 right now, and there's not many sets, not many super rares that hold their price at $14, $15, even 2 weeks after the pre-release. And Chimeramon is one of those cards right now that is holding its price at $15, and to get a place at $60 at a super rare, that's actually surprising. Same thing with Magnamon here, $40 for a playset. So it's something to think about. I think that it's going. I think it will still drop a little bit more, maybe to $8. I think it's going to settle at, but yeah, like once EX2 comes out, I think that's what's going to have an effect on these prices. Once EX2 is announced, comes out, then these are going to jump to that $7-8 mark. But I think it'll hold it there. Davis Ken box topper. I've heard many YouTubers Mario say do not buy pre-sales, and I think that he was absolutely right. Look at this, $25. That was pretty much on pre-sale, and then we jumped to $10, $11. Do I think these are going to come down? Yes, I think they are. I think they're going to go down to $8. If you're a max rarity and this is what you're looking to play the whole format, maybe you want to pick these up, or you chance getting them from a box topper. I mean, I guess it is fun to possibly pull that, but if you don't, then you don't. Something to think about. We have Black Oriumon at the super rare, holding it $7. So if you pull one of these in a pack, that's good. $7.50. That is a very good price. If you pull one of these, anything above $5, in my opinion, is a win. When you're pulling from pre-release packs. I mean, not pre-release. Just like single packs. Now, taking a look at Omnimons, I'm going to talk about a few things here. First off, I came into the game when I think at Battle of Omni, I think it was just right before Battle of Omni came out, and I can say I never even realized that how many Omnimods were actually in the set. After looking at this though, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 5 different artworks, all being the Blitz Omni. I really like that. The fact that they did that for a set of Battle of Omni. I mean, obviously the name, but basically, I really like the different cards here. But basically, one of the things I just wanted to mention here were there are a few things. First off, we do see the classic art here being about $23, $24. It's actually pretty low right now. I would recommend picking this up. But also, if you're looking for other copies here, this is starting to rise, $25 for Omnimon alter art. And then one more thing I wanted to mention, and these are going to be two, and this might be the unpopular opinion. Number one, for the alter S version of this, I kind of think this is a really good tech with the Black Oriumon deck. If you play this, and if you read the effect, it digivolves all one on all your opponent's Digimon, and then if it becomes 3, you can't, but then delete everything with 5,000 DP or less. Right now, there are a lot of cards that play 5,000 DP. It's also 15,000 DP here. And you can make it unblockable by returning a level 6 to your hand, which means you recycle a card back to your hand. Even though it's 6 cost to digivolve into, having the ability to kind of just wipe your opponent's board like that is very, very powerful. You can do that on like a Black X antibody deck, but more than that, you can do it on a hybrid deck. And you can pretty much get rid of all their cards. Skylymon is 5,000 DP. When you digivolve Rapidmon, usually you're deleting a rookie. So I think it's a very, very powerful card. And luckily, I have a few copies of it, so I'm able to play it. Now, the other thing I'll mention here is this. Now, I think if it's $79, I think that you should pick this up now. Because I honestly would like to see it hit the $100 mark, only because I feel like this is a legacy card. It was the first secret rare, well, I guess it's not a secret rare, but the first alternate art card that was released, in BT1, and there's not that much left in circulation right now unless they're going to be putting more out there. And I just think it's a really nostalgic card, so I'd like it to at least hit like $100, even though it's not going to be affordable for a lot of people. I think it just makes it that hunt card, you know what I mean? We see the defeats over here, just kind of a little bit of a difference, $65 to $70 here. Yeah, if you have these, definitely hold on to them. I don't think this is a bad card in any means, but BT9, there is a card, I think I forgot its name. It's a weird card, not a weird card, but like a weird named card. That one kind of is able to basically stop this from coming out if I'm right. So that is something to keep in mind. Now the last card I will go, and because I always like to finish with a little bit of a memory boost, is actually Pride Memory Boost. So interestingly enough, we've seen most of the memory boosts have actually kept pretty consistent. Just to kind of show you this. And we don't have really much change. The only thing I will mention is probably the purple memory boost, and that is because Magnamon is showing a lot more competitive play. I think that that's the reason why it kind of jumped in its price. But the other thing to keep in mind is, oops, I went too far back, is the primary boost. And now, primary boost has an effect of looking at the top 3 cards, and then you can play a card with 4 cost or less. The rest go to your trash, and then you get the delay effect, of course. But what's really cool about this card is that in BT9, Skull Knightmon becomes like a top tier deck, and this is one of the cards I think that is used. And because BT9 and BT10 kind of support the Skull Knightmon archetype, I do think that you're going to see this jump up. This is the only hollow version of the card, and I think that it is worth picking up. Now, it is, this person put $50, but this person over here also put it for $25, and I think it's because they know that it's going to be a top tier deck, and that they know that people should pick it up. And I think that for the pre-release, if you could find it less than the 25 over here, and you can maybe get it for the market price of 15, you should pick it up from your friends. But I would definitely tell them there are only 2 listings, one being at 50, one being at 25. And then just try to make the right choice. You can always check stuff like eBay. You can check stuff from Card Market, other sources, just to get a good, kind of, I guess you can say, accumulation of prices. But with that said, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts below on what you'd like to see next. Do you think that this is worth the price at $25? Do you think it's going to go up, go down? Do you think Skull Knightmon is going to be like a top tier deck in our meta once we get it? And do you think, what would you pick up over here? Do you think there's anything over here that is going to change? Or tell me what your thoughts are. Anyway, please like, subscribe, leave your thoughts below. Thank you, and have a great day.